Alright, so we do have the new Twilight Masquerade set. Let's go ahead and open straight into this. Alright, so this will be my first full unboxing of this set, being that it does come out this Friday. But let's go ahead and see what we can get. There are a couple of cards that I am able to look for. Some of them playable, some of them for my collection. Monkey Dory is a good card for playing purposes. Go ahead and get you that code. But for some of the collector side of this game, we are looking for that special illustration rare Carmine. That is one of my sought after cards and the biggest chase card that I have in this set, alongside the special illustration rare Perrin and Infernape. But yeah, those will be my two sought after collection piece cards. Now, I did do a couple of pre-release tournaments and didn't really get many pulls, although we did get early to the EV alternate art card, so I do have one of those, very nice for my collection. And we also got the Hisuian Growlithe as part of my collection as well. So in order to match with that Hisuian Growlithe, we just need to get that Perrin card that lines up the art so nicely together. As far as the playable cards we are looking in this set, we are looking for that Dragapult EX and its evolutionary line. Let's see if we get a full art Carmine. Alright, not too bad of a hit. So this Carmine is a pretty good card. It is going to be played in sort of like the next format within a couple of the Lugia decks, but we aren't really going to be playing Lugia in the next format. I actually don't know really what I want to play. So a lot of people are looking at Dragapult EX for the Japan list. There is that cool Ballistic EX deck that I've seen, as well as a Greninja EX in this new set. That looks pretty sick. I think the special art rare is one of the most sought after cards in this set. Not really by me, but more of like from other collectors or like other playable characters. Let's see if we can get any more. We get a Thwacky, I see something. We get the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Okay, we'll go ahead and get you the code card. So I do believe this is the special illustration rare Ogerpon EX. So we just got the regular grass one. There are 4 different masks to this set. We have the Teal Mask Ogerpon, the one that we just pulled. There is the Fire Mask Ogerpon. Don't really know what their names really are. There's an Earth one, and then there is the Water one. Screamtail EX, another hit. But yeah, this set, it sort of goes around that whole type of the newer DLCs where it brings in the Teal Mask Ogerpon and some interesting text that you can do, swapping between the different masks during gameplay. I don't really think I'm going to be making a full Ogerpon deck. If anything, the Teal Mask Ogerpon can get sort of its own thing. But yeah, really want to look for some of these newer trainer cards. The Carmine is going to be a good play. Kieran is also a pretty good playable trainer card that's going to be even in many of the new decks, I would assume, for the next set. Well, maybe not many, but there's some. We get an alternate Applin. All right, nice. So we are get a decent amount of these good cards. So far we have sort of that full art. I believe the Teal Mask Ogerpon is that special illustration rare card. So I'm not very sure if we can get the special illustration rare Carmine nor the special illustration rare Perrin. So that is going to be quite difficult. But yeah, let's go ahead and see where we can get. We're almost halfway through the first stack. Actually, I think we're already halfway through the first stack. Got 4 hits. Let's see how many in this box we can sort of get. I'm not really sure on the hit rates from this box. Sorry, Alakazam. I didn't really look at many. I didn't really look at many of the openings for this set. Just because I wanted to sort of keep most of it as a surprise. I was looking at some of the cards, but I believe there are a couple of ace specs that we are looking at from this next set as well. Get a Hisuian Growlithe, and here is the Fire Ogerpon. So we get the regular EX of that one as well. Alright, so we are almost halfway through this box. We've gotten a decent amount of hits, I would think. I don't know really the standard amount of hits, but I do believe that there is going to be at least maybe 2 ace specs in the box. I know that's how it was for the last box, where they had sort of 2 ace specs in each box. But let's see, we do want to get a couple more. I know for a lot of Lugia players, they are looking for that legacy energy. Not seeing anything in this one. Let's go ahead and sort of skim by. Maybe something towards the end. Get a Clefairy and a Chandelure. But yeah, it sounds like, based on a lot of players talking, there is going to be a resurgence of Lugia. Now, I am a fairly new player, so I don't know much about Lugia's history, but, ooh, I do see an ace spec. Let's see what we get. We get this Survival Brace. Definitely don't have this one. It's a really nice hit. Glad to add it to my collection. So yeah, we are actually going to be collecting at least one of each ace spec, just because it's, even though it may not be played today, maybe further down the line, if there's still that introduction of ace specs, it may come back in the future. Like, I believe in the last set there was the Neo Upper Energy that wasn't really seeing any play from any of the decks, but now we actually do see a bit of play of it being used in some of the Dragapult EX decks. I don't know how very good it is, being that I actually haven't tested any of the cards from this new set yet, but I will be looking at some of those Japan results, maybe even seeing some of the results from NAIC. Now, I'm actually not going to be participating in NAIC, being that since this is my first year of playing, I haven't even gone to my first regional yet. I am going to be looking to go to the LA regionals coming the end of this week, actually. So very excited to be playing at my first regional. Not really sure on what deck I want to bring yet. I'm kind of torn between playing either Charizard EX or maybe even going into that Xianpao EX. But I'm still currently testing between the two, and I think whichever one feels good on the night before. I am planning on doing a bit more of testing with the decks to see what I may actually want to play. So we are starting in the second half of the box. We currently have 6 hits, one of them being that ace spec card. Let's see if we get a 4 Luxray EX. All right, I know that is pretty decently looked on. So I think a lot of the control type decks are going to be wanting to play this Luxray, being that its first attack does 120 damage, and you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from their hand. That is a pretty good effect that you can sort of get that information revealing their hand, and you get to discard a card. We get Sunflora. That's pretty nice. Alright, so I will actually have to almost wait for the ETB to come in just so that I can sort of get that booklet that comes with it, just so I can look at all the different arts in this set. I didn't really want to take my time to sort of scroll through the internet and try and find a lot of them. I know there's probably an easy place where I can actually look for them, but I feel like it's a lot nicer to have the actual booklet, just so I can sort of look back and track which cards I still need, which cards I have. I'm not really sure if I want to collect this entire set just yet. I know the Carmine and Pairing are going to be my number 1 and my number 2 chase cards from this set, but I'm hoping that in at least maybe, I do have a separate box that I am also getting and waiting for, but I'm hoping that at some point we will be able to find at least one of those cards. I see an EX. We got the regular Teal Mask Ogerpon. Alright. So now we got the special art and the regular art for the Teal Ogerpon EX deck. I know that in the next set there is sort of that introduction to the Teal Mask Ogerpon. I know in the next set there is sort of that grass type deck that works with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. That is meant to counter sort of Charizard, which has been reigning terror on this current format. Or at least it's sort of slowed down since a couple of regionals ago. So maybe it's not really looking good for the next format, but there is going to be a couple of different changes to it. So one of the other decks that I am actually looking forward to in the next set is that Gardevoir EX. Now the reason why we kept that Monkey Dory off to the side is because that is one of the newer additions to that set. being that it is going to be highly played into the deck in order to move all of those damage counters off of your Gardevoir Pokemon. Just because Gardevoir's ability, you can put energy from the discard pile onto your Pokemon, but they do take 2 damage. So Munkidori being able to move those. Ooh, we get the Wellspring Ogerpon EX. I believe this one's the full art, which is really nice. Really nice artwork on some of these full art mask ones. But as I was saying, with the Munkidori, we are able to move those damage counters. As long as there's a dark energy attached to it, we can move him to the opposing Pokemon, essentially healing our Pokemon while damaging our opponents. It's a really cool mechanic, and I actually really want to try and test with it. Maybe see how good it really is going into the next format, and if it can withstand the reign of Dragapult. Because currently in Japan, it's kind of fallen down a bit since the release of these sets, but we get the Sinistcha EX. Dragapult EX has been reigning supreme. Now, there are a lot of variations within that deck in order to try and play it. We got an Aspec in here. I'm gonna pause my story. We're gonna go Froakie. We got an Eevee. Which Aspec are we getting? Don't really know which one I want to get, but something different. We get the Unfair Stamp. This may be a highly played Aspec card, just because I think in the early stages there's going to be a lot of people trying to figure out how to use the cards, and they're not really going to have much of an answer to the Unfair Stamp. So because Unfair Stamp sort of works like Roxanne, the supporter card in our current format, except instead of needing your opponent to be at 3 prize cards, if your opponent knocks out one of your Pokemon, then you get to draw 5 and your opponent draws 2. Now, hand disruption is really good in the game. So being able to just sort of shrink your opponent's hand size in the beginning, not allowing them to set up their board, is really effective, and it can really put a stall onto your opponent's game plan. All right, we do have 3 more packs. I don't know how many hits are sort of expected within these boxes. Just sort of going in this set rather dry than the other sets. But let's see if we can get any more. We got the full art Enamorus. All right, that's pretty nice. All right, so we have 2 packs left. I think that might be majority of the hits. We'll go ahead and do a recap towards the end, but yeah, unfortunately we weren't able to get any of the chase cards that we were looking for. We did get 1 new Aspec. I did manage to get an Unfair Stamp already in the pre-releases, but let's go ahead and see what we can get from this final pack. Now, I think, yeah, the Teal Mask Ogerpon might be the special illustration rare, and we're gonna have to hope. And let's see if there's anything else we can get from this pack. We got a Rayfort, Palafin, Chiyu, we got a Tadbulb, Slugma, and a Macargo EX. Okay, so in this box we did get 14 hits. We got the special illustration rare Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. We got full arts, we got a Carmine, a Luxray EX, and another Teal Mask. Pretty nice. We got both the aspects being Survival Brace and the Unfair Stamp. 3 different art cards. We got the Applin, Enamorus, and Sunflora, and then a whole load of EXs to go with our collection. Let me know what you guys are getting in your boxes below, and see if we can get some better hits in the next one.